All right, everyone, we are on our way to Vegas. We've made a pit stop at the ATM to gather our Vegas cash for the poker tourney. Yeah, we're gonna go get our flight and we will see you all in Vegas soon. We're at Oscar's for dinner above the carousel because we're gonna go to the carousel for the costume contest to meet everybody soon. Blake had one really good hand at Baccarat, so he's paid for dinner.
I got a natural 9.
A natural 9. Yes, excellent.
This from Fremont.
We got a Pokemon Lucky Box. Oh, I have to break the seal. Here we go. It's a 10.
It's cooler. They're all 10s, I think.
Oh.
Good morning, treasure seekers. This is Blake coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. And joining me, as always, from Las Vegas, Nevada, is Brent and Cody. How's it going, guys?
Good morning. The morning the TreasureCon is here. Woohoo!
Drinking some coffee, partied too hard last night.
Check out the size of these breakfast portions. Specifically, this Pop-Tart right here that Cody ordered is the size of a small child. It's huge.
So this is our pre-game breakfast before TreasureCon, so hopefully we don't all get sick from eating too much food and too much coffee. All right, we'll try to get a recording of our talk today and post it along with this one, but we're having very, very much fun so far. See you guys.
Shirts on. Dream team. Heading to the con.
Coming to you live from Las Vegas.
And please welcome them to the stage. I am a hyper super fan, so I'm really excited that I met Blake, Brent, and Cody.
Oh, you scream.
Hello. I was just telling our table that this is scary. My armpits are sweaty, so.
Good afternoon, treasure seekers. This is Blake coming to you live for Las Vegas, Nevada, and joining me, as always, from also Las Vegas, Nevada today, it's Bryn and Cody. How's it going?
Doing so well. So excited to be talking to all of you.
This is surreal.
Yeah, it's very surreal.
All right, make sure you speak up into this so everyone can hear. So thanks very much, Kate Crow, Mike, for the interview, for the invitation here to come this afternoon. We're just going to give you a little bit of info about how we came to start a podcast, kind of what our TTI journey has been like, and we're going to have a little bit of audience interaction today as well. So get ready for that with some live What's More Likelies. For those that are enjoyers of the podcast. I know there's a bunch of different treasure hunts going on. We are TTI focused, so just bear with us. Hopefully we won't bore you too much. Sorry. We do have a TreasureCon exclusive for anybody that's here today, so we are going to reveal what our relationship is to each other.
Giving the people what they want.
So we've had some speculation in the YouTube comments sometimes. I think one was that Bryn and Cody are twins.
Yeah.
One is that I am trying to woo Bryn away from Cody.
Spoiler alert, I'm not worried about that.
Anyway, so the relationship for this team is that Bryn is actually my sister. I'm in New Mexico. She's in Washington State. Cody's in Washington, and they are a married couple. So now you know.
Most certainly not twins.
All right. Do you want to tell everybody a little bit about our history with starting the podcast and what we do?
Yeah. So how did we get into this podcast? I would say it definitely started in our childhood for Blake and I. We obviously grew up together as siblings. And growing up, we loved I don't know, like listening to the radio, they'd have these like lunch hour contests where like you call in and there's different puzzles, different lunchtime puzzles. And this one time there was more of like a long form treasure hunt that someone was doing over the radio, and clues would be released weekly. And so we got really into that as a family. And as the weeks went on, we were like, oh, we think this is actually really close to us. I mean, obviously, it was all going to be pretty close to us because it was in our hometown. But this in particular, we think it's just down the road. So that was our first boots on the ground experience. We went out. I don't know how old we were. I was probably like 6 or 7.
Yeah, exactly. So we have been boots on the ground, actually.
So we have the boots on the ground. So we went out and we were looking around. We felt like we were honing in on it, and we actually found the treasure. So I think we came away from that with maybe like $300. So, I mean, we all got a $100 bill between our other brother and I. So that was pretty exciting. I'm trying to think of where to go from that next.
How do we get into
TTI? So for TTI specifically, so we were like very much on the outside with the Forest Fen hunt. Our parents had The Thrill of the Chase, the book, and we like looked through it. I think like every single thing was highlighted in the book, and we were like, okay, this is overwhelming, and we didn't really follow through with it. But it was very much like on our radar. We just didn't really like dive into that hunt. And so then our other brother, back when TTI came out, he was like, hey, this book is coming out. This seems like something you guys would really like, because the 3 of us like escape rooms, whether that be an in-person escape room, whether that be one of the at-home escape rooms. We love doing those as the 3 of us. We also love like our strategy board games. So it seemed like the TTI hunt was going to be something that we were really into. So we're like, okay, let's dive into this one. Let's really do it. And like had the wonderful idea, like, let's do a podcast alongside that to hold ourselves accountable week to week. Blake has a little bit of podcasting experience with a fantasy football podcast. I think all of the listeners were just like his closest friends. So this has been really cool to see more of like real people who are just listening to us that we don't know. And so it's been so fun to meet all of you. I mean, last night and today. So thank you for introducing yourselves.
But I did have a soundboard before Mike.
Blake.
And Mark. Sorry. Cody, do you want to tell us a little bit about kind of our format for those who might not be familiar, and why we've kind of chosen to do the podcast in this way?
Yes, you bet. This is just, oh man, this is just so surreal right now. If you asked me 2 years ago, the last place I expected to be is standing up here with 2 other introverts at this, like influencers of some sort. Yeah, so we do kind of long form podcasting. We do almost no editing. I think we've clipped like 2 things out where I said something stupid over the last year and a few months. And we break our very long 90-minute podcast up into different segments that I think work really well. Kind of keep us on track, keep things moving, because we have a tendency to talk a lot once we get going. So some of the segments that we cover, we do a news segment, and that's been really helpful for me. And I think for all 3 of us, because it kind of keeps us in the loop on what's happening with the hunt. And I think it's really beneficial for the listeners too. Kind of just keep us up to date. So we do that one. We do Mailbag. Mailbag is crazy because when we set up Mailbag, we created our little Gmail account and advertised on our first episode, and we thought we'd get like 1 or 2 people writing in. And now it's like a full-time, so many mailbags. So we're really appreciative of that. And I love all of the communication. And it's just really exceeded any expectation I ever had. And it's really cool to kind of have that collaborative environment and work with people who have all sorts of different ideas and get to kind of just treat it as one big soundboard and work together on things and make, it's been amazing. Another segment that we started kind of a little bit more recently, probably within the last like 3 or 4 months, is the What's More Likely segment, which is one of my favorites, which is where we kind of,
What's more likely?
nice. So for What's More Likely, it's kind of a well-known thing, I think, in a lot of different kind of podcasts. I kind of learned it from sports podcasting, listening to those podcasts, but it's like you come up with a few different kind of mutually exclusive scenarios to talk about which one you think is more likely. So we've been doing that with a lot of kind of treasure hunting topics. And that's been really eye-opening because you kind of make these assumptions that, you know, the people that you work with all the time on the treasure hunt have like these same base assumptions that you do. And then when you actually like address some of the things that you think we're all on the same page about, it's crazy to learn like, wow, these guys totally think something completely different than me about something I thought we were all, it was like, was obvious to us. So, ooh. Yeah, and then we've got other segments from there, but I don't want to get too long-winded. I know that Blake has some fun little audience activities you want to get to, so.
Well, I think we should also address, like, in addition to our standard episodes, we've done a lot of like one-offs that I think are really helpful. So obviously not everybody here is in TTI, but like if you're interested in joining, I think we did a pretty helpful like 1-year review on the anniversary of the hunt. So that's one of our special episodes where we go through and like introduce the hunt, how to get into it, kind of all the base information that's happened over the last year. So you can really get caught up to speed, information on each box. So I think that's super helpful if you're interested in getting into this hunt specifically. We've done part 2 box specials. So those are, I think our longest one's even like over 3 hours. I'm so sorry. But we get a little carried away and we just do like a deep dive on each one of those boxes. We had a very early interview with John Collins Black. So yeah, we have some specials out there as well, different type of content. That's been really fun to put out there as well.
All right, I think we're ready for some audience interactions. My first one is very selfish, and it might be to my detriment, but this is going to be a TTI specific one. Is there anybody out there that's working on the Pokemon box or has thought about the Pokemon box at all?
Where are my Pokemon people?
Awesome. So I have a theory that I thought was like extremely sane, and I've gotten a lot of pushback on it, and it's about the purple image that's at the end of the Pokemon box. And I think that in the rocks, it's very clear that there are 3 generations of Pokemon, the Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard. So what I would like to hear is by a round of applause or screaming potentially, what is more likely? If you think it's more likely that John Collins Black did introduce 3 Pokemon generations of Charmander, etc., please let me hear it now.
Yes.
Oh. Well, we don't know. Maybe everybody's very shy. So I'm shocked. Like,
We'll take our
yes, if you think that there is nothing there and I'm hallucinating that, please let's hear it now.
That just made my whole weekend.
This is why whenever I check the mailbag, everyone's like, oh, Cody's the best. Oh, we love Cody. Everyone agrees with Cody.
That made my whole weekend. That was probably our biggest argument. We were like so level-headed during our whole podcasting, and that was probably our biggest argument. We actually got into it a little bit with each other.
We try to be kind and respectful, but the purple image is divisive.
I'm actually shocked by that.
Honestly, I'm too.
Anyway, for those that aren't, yeah, thank you. We'll chat later. Emma and Jam are here. Now you're my favorite YouTube crush. All right. All right, second question. This one is a surprise for Britt and Cody. So what's more likely? Do you think that the TTI unofficial podcast will go boots on the ground this year or not? So if you think that we're going to go boots on the ground this year, let's hear it. See?
No, we definitely.
We're illegitimate until we do, I think. So, all right. Anybody that thinks we won't go boots on the ground, let's hear haters.
Fairness.
Breen just had to pick Pokemon box as the main focus when we lived in like Northwest Washington. And Purple Lots is all the way southeast.
Yeah,
We'll get there.
we will. We're trying to be very confident in a location.
Right. Okay. I think we have a couple minutes for questions. If there's any audience questions, we'll take 1 or 2 and we'll come to you. You don't have to come up here, which is very scary up here. Any questions at all?
I can
Yeah, that'd be great.
make friend. There's one question in the very back.
Very back. All right.
We were told we needed some we needed a sound jingle for these things up here. Rashawn he was in the first panel. He's our sound guy, unofficial sound guy for our jingles. So everyone give Rashawn a round of applause. Podcast and not upload like that. This will share in this clay data. You guys see they were up. I guess in those papers over say culture victory. So we did go to other parties. So they was working on that box. But my question is, you guys look there is bad. Never asking it also just curious, do you have a theory on any bosses that you guys got be have shared us the listeners?
I think historically, I've definitely been, of the three, I've been the most willing to be like, anything that I find, I just want to share.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have to coax you guys into doing that. I don't think there's any big secrets we have that we're not sharing. We're really big into being collaborative and kind of working as a community. So I can't think of anything that we have that we're sitting on and oh, don't tell anybody this.
Yeah, I've been pretty heads down on the Pokemon box, and I would say I have all sorts of theories on what I keep calling my clue buckets. I don't have spots on the map yet, but I feel like I've kind of consolidated these groups of clues that I'm trying to figure out what do I now do with them. So it's more so of I don't really know how to present that in the podcast content rather than being super secretive. So one thing I've kind of been thinking about is starting a Pokemon minute and just doing my 1 minute of my thoughts per day and uploading it as a short just to kind of get my ideas out there in a more digestible way. So I think it's never we're not trying to hold anything back or ever be secretive. I think anything that feels good to put out there, that makes sense to put out there, we are.
Yeah, I only took the microphone to defend you because it seems like sometimes we hold back Pokemon stuff, and it's really just been a matter of how you want to present it in a reasonable fashion. I mean, you should see the murder board associated with the Pokemon box that Bryn has. It is something to behold. So
we did a Pokemon summit a few months back where we all got together to try and dilute down some of our notes. And I think we got from 50 pages of notes to 45 pages of.
So I think that's something we could use some help on. And I've been encouraging Bryn, so we're all new treasure hunters, right? I've been encouraging Bryn to try to take her clue buckets and find locations on the map. And so if people have tips or hints on how to make that transition from ideas you have to map searching, if there's any great ideas out there, we'd be happy to hear them. So appreciate it. All right. I think we have one more question real quick and then we'll wrap up. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
So I kind of feel like that near me. So my first is I know that I was late this month. I closed down when I heard the EOs to start. Yeah. First question. You guys have very detailed ideas and love the outside strategy. Sigma Keeper set. Do you each generally have a job that goes into your podcast because get asked about what we do? And I know that's so important. You guys each have something to first word show.
Yeah, I mean, we have a spreadsheet of our general outline and flow. So then it'll be heading into our recording our episode, it'll be okay, who has something to fill in each one of these segments, and so we'll kind of just brainstorm as a group beforehand to try to fill those out. I have been a very consistent mailbag tender, yes. So I apologize for being slow in the mailbag, but yeah, we all kind of jump in as we can where needed.
Into the second question, surprised that people who are clients get me are now learning about TCI. What one episode you think is the most important next episode I'm gonna watch, especially in your lot pass?
Yeah, a good
review.
It's the 1 year anniversary special that came out a few months ago. That will get you up to speed on, in my opinion, TTI in about 2 hours. So that would be what I recommend to anybody that's new coming into TTI.
Quick question for Ready Buddy. I want to know who's going to win the Super Bowl.
Oh. It's obvious. Obvious.
Not even a question. You didn't even have to stand up to ask that one.
Well, thank you, everybody. We really appreciate the support and we're great feeling everybody. Zipper, K-Bro, and Mike. What's more likely? There are no bends or turns or something else based on the clues that we heard today.
Something else, and I will at least take 50 hours and do 5 videos on.
Something else, that bit. I think that was one of the big takeaways from his talk. Okay. Me too. I asked him to shoot an email. It's awesome. I'm here with Avius Traderus, Bryn's YouTube crush. We have a on the spot, what's more likely for you? Okay. All right, what's more likely? Are there now fruits associated with the Greninja picture in the Pokemon box or not? I hope so. So even though John Conflack said there's nothing associated with the Proteus today, Greninja you think is still in place?
I hope so. Here's my thinking on it. If the pictures weren't important at all, one, why put them in?
Yes.
And then two, why not just use if you had to recreate a Froakie and a Greninja, just buy a cheap Froakie and Greninja card, take a picture of it, and say not in treasure.
That's a really interesting idea I have considered, actually. Very good. Okay, I like that. Cool, thank you. Hammered Aries with Rashawn, Dr. Harshway. Follow his Substack, please, at reflectingauthorstreasureinside.com. Rashawn, we have a what's more likely to put you on the spot.
All right, let's hear it.
What's more likely? The treasure is near Little Rock Pond or it is not?
It is, well, near, in a JCB way, near is a relative term.
Good.
So, depends on your definition of near. But if you were saying within a 5-mile radius of there,
Okay.
I would say no. Oh, okay.
Live in Las Vegas at Hammered Harry's. We have Emma and Dam here. Huge interview. We have one what's more likely question. Oh, I love that. Tailored specifically for you guys. Okay. This is a hard one, so I'm going to have Ricky answer. What's more likely? We are missing something fundamental. The community consent to scan the soul of the word cert. See, well, we are not. We're an area with community consensus to the rail ball. The word?
Different opinions, I think, about which it
100% listen to key. And I thought the key today was when he basically said, if you get to 5, basically, you'll like kind of know you got to 5, which tells me it's a step process. And so we may not be off step 1. What people think are clue, I don't think are actually keys that we'll figure it out. It's just, so yeah, see what you got.
I'm shocked that I agree with you, deeper. But I think that we have taken this so deep, we went down, the first thing we did was grab all rationale and went down rabbit holes. Reality is everything we need is right there, and you can take to reiterate that over and over again. And then we jump in our different Discords or our YouTube groups or our Facebook groups, and everybody's like, it's all about this. And I'm like, it's not about any of that. But maybe it is out of the box, so but it just seems like we've taken the simplification out of it. He's trying to draw it back as.
I think Cody's going to like that answer very much, but thank you. Make sure to follow Treasure Hunt with us.
I thought you were going to ask us if we thought the Charizard is in the picture.
That's my backup question for everybody.
Okay.
Is there more than one Pokemon in the purple image or not? I would prove there was more than one today.
I think there's at least 4.
And I think you see the mask that like Charizard wore in one of the cartoons. It's kind of a mix of it. It's in there. Hell.
Also, my Pokemon is shit. Okay. Wouldn't it, if it fixes he is overlays on a slide, wouldn't the app progress? Okay.
Cody's a bit.
All right, say the end of the video. This is so much.